Hey, what's going on there, YouTube?
Yo, YouTube, what's up, fam?
This is Ezekiel 0320.
Your boy George Johnson 030.
Representing JVS.
Back.
We are back for another review, first reaction, whatever you want to call it, for The Walking Dead 7th season, episode 2. I mean, I don't know. I'm conflicted. I mean, I don't know if y'all feel the same as that way. The last episode affected me in such a way that I don't think I've ever had any kind of show affect me like that.
Yeah.
Since Game of Thrones, real talk. Like, I knew for a fact there was no way the second episode could make me feel anywhere near close to what the first episode. I knew that going in. Now, I knew about King Ezekiel. You know, I knew that was going to be something that's moving forward. I was thinking we might get into some Negan stuff and a little bit more about the Saviors, but episode was a good character piece. It explored a lot with Morgan's psyche now, and even with Carol, and especially King Ezekiel. King Ezekiel is a very interesting character,
Right.
but you can't help but feel underwhelmed. Like, I mean, there's nothing that really happens in this episode, in the sense of like imminent danger or something, you know, really catastrophic happening. This is a more lighthearted episode that sculpts characters moving forward more than anything else. That's not necessarily a bad thing. I don't know. What do you think?
I thought like the first moments of the episode were like really good, and it kind of like built up to this like, oh, this is actually gonna be really dope. Now, as far as King Ezekiel's character, I don't really know the guy because I don't really follow comic books.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
Now, at the end of this episode, I'm like, okay, this might potentially be a civilization that we might have already seen in the past. Like, kind of like the same situation with a different name.
With Alexander.
Yeah, kind of thing. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know where this is going. And I kind of relate with Carol and where she's going, how she feels. But I mean, there's different kind of philosophies going with the kingdom, which I think is actually cool and kind of beneficial. I was like, okay, I can see why you guys are going this route.
Yeah.
But you know, it wasn't anything like completely different from what we've seen before.
Yeah.
And that's why I think, as far as the underwhelming factor in this episode.
Yeah, that's probably the reason why. I mean, it wasn't that anything that was done wrong.
Right.
I think it adds extensions to the character. It's just like, you remember that Morgan episode where it was just Morgan's episode, which it was a better episode than this, but
Yeah, definitely.
it was at the time when it happened, like everything it went crazy, and then it went straight to the Morgan episodes. It's like, this is a good episode, but you know, this is totally different pace, you know. And I think that some people are gonna like assess this as like, man, this being really underwhelming and a deflection to what the first episode was. I'm not gonna say as far as that. I think that they could have done a little bit more with the Saviors moving forward, but they're going to do that, I think, with the next episode, especially with Daryl, especially with Dwight. I will say that King Ezekiel is a really interesting character. I think that they have a lot that they can do with this character moving forward, especially Shiva. Like, that CG tiger, like,
Tiger's huge.
Whenever they show this CGI tiger attacking something, whether it be a walker or whatever, I want to see that. I thought that I was actually going to kind of get a glimpse of that. I think if they would have ended it off with Shiva just protecting somebody or protecting King Ezekiel as he's walking down, I think that would have been like the better moment of pulling this, you know, kind of like out of this underwhelming kind of factor. But all in all, it opens up for me a lot of potential moving forward more than anything. Like, I'm curious to see where characters like Carol and Morgan, how they're going to, you know, move forward after they find out what Negan's group did. After they figure out what happened to Alexandria. And even like you said, I think you made a comment, if the Hilltop, Alexandria, the Kingdom, if they all grouped together, they could actually probably stand against the Saviors. Real talk. They really could, because like the Kingdom, they got some OGs like on the front lines. Like when they were sitting there going through on horseback, like taking out dudes, I was like, yo.
They got a squad. They got a nice little squad.
It's just, they're pacifists though. Like, King Ezekiel is not what he says he is, and he doesn't want to, like he said in the episode, like he doesn't want to lose anybody else. I thought that the Morgan part with the young boy, him teaching him the philosophy, I thought that was really interesting. But we get to see that Morgan is still like throwing that out the door, kind of like he has to figure out how to survive for himself. But I don't know, man. What do you get this episode, bro? I'm torn. I really am.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I like the episode. Like, I would have to give it like, I want to say like a 7.5. I liked it. It's just some elements are recycled.
Yeah.
But I mean, but I like Morgan, how he's training like the new kid. I like King Ezekiel's character.
Yeah, I really do too.
And I like where Carol is going. Like, cause I can understand how she feels.
Yeah.
I like seeing Morgan and Carol like interact together.
Yeah.
I like their whole like relationship. So
King Ezekiel and Carol gonna be interesting as well, though.
Yeah.
Like I don't know where that's gonna go because the way he ended it, like this dude's actually pretty good character.
I think for me, like those characters, I'm like, all right, this is great. But as far as the kingdom itself, I'm like, I don't really care. I don't really care about these people.
I'm kind of like, I feel the same way, but I feel like things are just too good for them. Does that make sense? Like, I think I've been desensitized that every single time something good happens, things hit the fan.
Exactly.
And I'm sitting there looking at these folks thriving, and I'm like, this ain't gonna last. That's not gonna last. Negan's group is coming. You know, I think that's what's going on in my head.
Right.
So, for me, I give this episode between an 8 and an 8.5. I'm gonna leave it at an 8 out of 10. Only because I actually really enjoyed the character development. I really enjoyed the characters.
Yeah, that's a good character.
I don't know. Like, it's hard. Coming after a 10, like one of the best episodes of the season, then coming to this one, it's hard, man. Like, I feel like the next episode is going to be a step up. They're going to build from there. But this was not a step down. But I think people are going to come out underwhelmed. I really do.
Yeah.
I really do. But hopefully y'all enjoyed our first reaction, our review. We'll be back, and hopefully you can check out some of our reactions of the episode. Take care, everybody. Keep it locked. JVS, we ain't going to stop. Peace, everybody.